So with all the news regarding Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, with all the information, the created characters, yada yada yada, I decided to say the pros and the cons for all the races, just to refresh you guys. And also I decided to put my thoughts and opinions out there on which race is the strongest race, which race has the biggest advantage in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So anyway guys, what is good? What is really good, my people? It is UK, Trotterbrother, Dr. Blake, the darkest man who round, and yes, we'll be talking about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So get your fried chicken, get your Kool-Aid, and sit them cheeks down. You definitely know, this UK, Trotterbrother will be going ham on this video. So without further ado, let me just get on with this. So first of all, let's start with the Saiyan race. The Saiyan race, probably arguably one of the most popular races to use now that they got Super Saiyan 3 in the arsenal on this game. But when you really think about it, they probably have one of the worst weaknesses in the game. Like, they have terrible health. They take a lot of damage, but they could also dish a lot of damage. Like, when it comes to the Saiyan race on this game, they're always a race that, like, it makes people gravitate to them more, if you know what I'm saying. So when it comes to the Saiyan race, a lot of people will be using them, obviously, because people love Saiyans in this game. But when it comes to their weakness, bruh, losing a lot of health. But as they do that, I got to also point that out there as well. As they lose a lot of health, they'll be able to increase their attack damage. So when they're losing health, they increase their power as well. But as you guys know, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, maybe they might fix this in Xenoverse 2. That didn't mean jack shit. If you were using a Saiyan and you weren't really good at the game, you are literally spreading them checks. So when it comes to the Saiyan race, they are really bad. Really bad in terms of defensive ability. So if you're not really good at defending, and you're not really good at covering them cheeks, the Saiyan race may not be for you. But if you're really good at attacking and you can go past them flaws, then you can probably bypass their weaknesses. So as a whole, Saiyan race will be a really good race to use. But do I think it's going to be the best race to use? Hell nah, fam. Hell nah. So the next race I'm going to talk about is the Namekians. So when it comes to Namekians, they have amazing stamina. Stamina is their main attribute. And if you guys have played Xenoverse, if you guys have Xenoverse, you would know that stamina is very key. Without stamina, you cannot do jack shit on this game. Like, you need stamina at your arsenal, bro. You need to have good stamina. That's why you see people on Xenoverse 1 applying 100 stamina, because they know for a fact that stamina is very key on this game. And their weakness. So when it comes to their weaknesses pretty much in their base form. They really suck at attack damage. But like I said, their base form, bro, when you go into Giant Namekians, it's obviously seen that they're gonna have amazing power, and they're obviously gonna be very slow. So in terms of them balancing out the Namekians, they did a great job with balancing out the Namekians and the Saiyans. And on paper it looks good. On paper it looks good. Like I said, they did a good job on paper, bruh. We know these mofos out there, bruh. When it gets to Xenoverse, when they purchase Xenoverse, they're gonna be finding every broken, underhanded shit on this game to freaking piss people off, bruh. I know these cheap mofos, bruh. I know these cheap ones, bruh. So when it comes to the Earthlings and the Saiyans, they have their pros and their cons. But as a whole, they're not really the best race. They're not really the race that I would say is the supreme race on this game. But when it comes to the Earthlings, like boy, they're overall good at everything. They're just good at everything, bruh. And when I mean good at everything, they pretty much don't really specialize in anything. They don't really have a pro. They don't really have a con. But there's one pro that they have that no other race has that is pretty much very useful. So when it comes to Earthlings, they have the ability to automatically fill up their ki. And with this, and them having no pros and weaknesses, that automatically is by default. And I mean, by default, I haven't even gotten to the Martians and the Freezer race. By default, they are the best race on the game. Like, regardless of their transformation, by default, they are the best race on the game. And depending on how good the Nimbus Cloud is, I know it looks good on paper, it looks hella fun to use, it looks like it's gonna have hella range, it's gonna be fast and shit like that. But depending on how effective they are to use and how you can dodge it, how you can get around it, depending on how easy or hard it is, they, by default, are the best race regardless of that. Because when you look at all the races and their transformations and their yada yada yada, they all still have their weaknesses. But you see the Earthlings, like, bruh, I may not specialize in anything, bruh. I may not be good at anything, but I don't have any weaknesses like you mofos do. I don't have any weaknesses like you mofos do. And with them looking like seemingly the most funnest race to use, wow. People are going to be enjoying and having one hell of a time using the Earthling race. They're going to be a race to be fun to use. They're going to be a race that I might even consider using. I might bring back Cool Guy, bruh, or freaking Ice Cube, bruh, when I get onto like explaining the freaking Alcosians or Freezer races. Yeah. So, okay, on to the next one. The next one I'm going to explain is the Freezer race. Okay, so when it comes to the Freezer race, they have incredible speed. And since they have incredible speed, they pretty much are that's pretty much it, incredible speed. But their weaknesses, so when it comes to their weaknesses, they don't thrive in key attacks. So pretty much what I did with my Freezer race, I pretty much put all my concentration on the stamina, the health, and the freaking, like, basic attacks. And that helped my Freezer race, complementing the Freezer race ability. Like, with Xenoverse, that most people didn't really know, and it took them a while to realize, you have to freaking use the best attributes to that tailored character you use. Like, abuse their pros and tighten it up to the point that you can make their pros and cons into something that you can actually use online and use successfully. Obviously, you know, their transformation is gonna be their golden form, and really I don't really see the major pro other than probably increased attack power and probably increased speed. But other than that, I don't really see anything that's just flashy that freaking stands out to me, bruh. Like I said, guys, if you've been there since Xenoverse 1, Ice Cube, bruh, you're gonna see a golden cube. The golden cube in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Is it truly the greatest DBZ game of all time? Let me stop. But, okay, on to the margins. So when it comes to the margins, they pretty much lack in stamina recovery. So when it comes to them recovering their stamina, they're terrible at it. But in terms of them being terrible at it, they can really compensate for them having terrible stamina recovery. So since they have terrible stamina recovery, they have amazing defense. So they can take a lot of damage. Because as you guys may know, when you're using the fat margin, it's really hard to really move out of the way. Really hard to like sidestep, move, weave yourself out of what they can do on this game. But as a whole, guys, when it comes down to all the races in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, all of them have their pros, all of them have their weaknesses. And, okay, except Earthlings, bruh. I forgot to stress that, bruh. Earthlings, they're lucky that Unlock Potential ain't exclusive to them, because I thought about it, bruh. There'll be some OP mofos, bruh. But as a whole, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section about what race are you using in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2? What race tailors to your playstyle? What race are you liking in Xenoverse 2? Is it truly the greatest DBZ game of all time, or is it truly greatness? But as a whole, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, because this has been UK Trollberry, Dr. Blade, the darkest man around, and it is time for me to put down that fried chicken and the Kool-Aid and wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like, rate, and enjoy this video. And yeah, I'll catch you next one, guys. Bye.
Work.